Hello and welcome to Kitterick Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and today we are picking things up the next day. We just moved time forward here to October 2nd, which really means the second week of October. And last episode, we had dug into our big soybean field over here. It's 5:45 in the morning here, and we left all the other equipment out in the field except the semi here. We brought a load of beans back up here to the farm. And so we're going to go ahead and get the truck all fired up here and get heading back out to the field nice and early this morning. It's almost 6 o'clock here, so we're getting an early start. And I'm starting at 6 o'clock because I want to see how much money we're going to make from our cows. The milkman comes here at 6 a.m. every morning. And after the nightly tick, we're down $40,000 in the bank account right now, which is quite substantial. And so I'm trying to decide what we're going to do about that. And the answer to what we're going to do about that is really dependent on how much money these cows are going to make us. If I take a quick look here, we are starting to get a little bit low on the feed in the new cow pen that we got started. The main pen is obviously still doing fine because we put quite a bit into there. And so we are going to need to put some feed in there at one of these points. And it looks like we're making about 11K per 250 cows. I do like that each building shows up separately here for me. And so that helped out quite a bit. In fact, I almost feel like that's catching up. If I take a quick look here for October, our sold milk is at 41,000 and our miscellaneous is only at minus 22, which is our land lease fees, and our vehicle leasing fees were only 16. And so I think we're actually starting to catch up here. And that gives me hope. So I was about to take out a little bit more of a loan because I hate being in the negative balance here. But we are at 775,000. We could probably do that. You know, maybe we will do that just to be fair. I don't want to cheat the bank out of their interest and carry a negative balance. So I'm going to raise myself up here over that limit. We probably will go negative again throughout the day as the hourly lease costs on our equipment comes up. But I'm not too worried about it since we should make some money on the way back. And I'm going to bump time up just a little bit more here so that we can get into the daylight hours now that our 6 a.m. Window has passed here. And we'll just get the sun up here. Maybe I'll move forward to about 9 a.m. Actually, it's pretty light at 7. So we're going to stop back down here to 7. We're going to go back down to our 10X. That's what I think I decided to try out for this episode. Last time we were at 15X and it felt a little bit fast, but I was kind of starting that late in the day too, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm just noticing that when I've restarted the game here, all the bales that I had on the tractor, on the bale spikes and such, came flying off apparently, so that's no good. We had 2 bales on the front and 1 on the back here that I was just too lazy to load up onto the trailer in the dark, but they've undone themselves. But I'm not super worried about that right this moment. What I want to do is get the course play drivers going here again on their respective courses. So we're going to go ahead and fire the baler off. And then most importantly, we're going to run over here and get this combine going again. I did empty the combine right when we stopped. We left everything down here on the end so that we could do a little bit of maintenance, get everything greased up here. I do not yet have a fuel truck of any kind, and so we are going to need to figure that out at some point. And I left a bit of beans in the grain cart here with the tarp on, and they should keep overnight just because we had the semi all filled up and nowhere to put them. However, and now that the combine's going, you know, we don't quite have enough to top off the semi, and so I'm going to go ahead and follow this combine down the length of the field here and see if I can unload it before it gets to the end. That will allow it to make its way back up here as it cuts through on the next land. And then hopefully we'll have enough to top off this semi-truck. I've got a lot of bales to pick up out of here, but I did go around and clean up the headlands last night after I wrapped up the episode. That was the one thing I did off camera here. And so we're pretty close now on being able to just wrap up these soybeans. I think today is going to go a lot smoother than yesterday. We had a few minor glitches getting everything up and running here, but I think we've really figured out our flow with the different workers in the field here. Anytime you get a new hired hand on the farm, a little bit of learning how to work with each other. I'm at 800 bushels. I need to get up over 1,000, I think, to top that truck off. So I don't think we're going to get enough for the semi here on this run, but that's all right. I'm going to follow him down here to the end just to make sure he's empty for the cut through. All right, I'm sure that's good. So let's just work our way over a little bit here, get out of the way. And he's going to do his thing, and we're going to go and start loading some bales. See if I can grab this without running into our truck here. Didn't do a great job of lining up on it, but I also didn't have the ability to steer a whole lot with the truck in the way. So let's see if I can straighten this out a little bit and come back at it at a better angle here. All right, I got that one on the back now. Let's see if I can figure out how to lift this one back up. Oops, we're still on the back implement here. One moment. I'm so used to just grabbing the old mouse here and flipping the controls around, but I've got to remember to switch between the rear implement and the front implement now, which is honestly a little bit of a pain, but that's all right. And the fact that this tractor has gears has actually been slowing me down a bit. Where are you going, Bale? It'd be awesome if I had something that I didn't have to keep shifting the gears back and forth on while trying to run the loader controls and switch back and forth with things, mostly because the gear shifting I have is set on my numpad at the moment. Stop moving, please, Bale. And so I have to reach over with my right hand and stop using the mouse when I need to shift the gears. I've got kind of a buttons on the side of my mouse here that I think I should redo for the gear up and down maybe at some point. That might be a good use of my time to figure out where those buttons are. I honestly don't tend to get too attached to setting custom controls because I feel like for whatever reason FarmSim locks my controls out on a regular basis, or resets them, I guess is a better way of saying it. And so I've just gotten used to the fact that at any given time all of my FarmSim controls are going to be defaults. And so I've attempted to really learn what the default controls are as much as possible. And we're going to try this trick again that I did in the other field and just see if I've pick this bale up high enough that I can possibly set it onto the trailer here. We'll see, we'll see. We're pretty low on the bale, so it just might work. Oh, it doesn't look like I'm quite gonna get there. That's unfortunate. Oh well, we'll just drop it off here, spin around, and toss it on. As you can see, my bale loading hasn't been the smoothest here. I'm hoping as I push this onto the trailer here that front bale is gonna kind of straighten itself out. All right, I have saved y'all the pain and agony of how long it took me to actually load this trailer up, but we've got it. And before we run that up to, well, I don't actually know where we're gonna run that up to. Let's run back up here and check on things. The baler's been by a couple of times. And yeah, we've been ignoring the combine again. We really got to pay more attention to the combine. It took me forever to get those last few bales loaded up on that trailer. I am just not good at running that front loader. So we'll be doing a lot more of that. Ooh, the field here's got a little bit of a bump. We might come out here and smooth this field out a little bit before we get into planting in the spring. We've got some leveling tools we can use to maybe take out that little bit of a ledge. And let's get going here. We're going to toss this thing into a higher gear. I want to get this combine moving and grooving. It's already a 9:30 in the morning. Time is ticking by actually quite speedily as we go through the day here, which I feel like is a good thing. It's going to keep me on track. I want to wrap up our soybean harvest today. And that'll leave us 2 more episodes here. Well, I hope it doesn't take that long, but we can get into the sunflower harvest and get that all wrapped up. We've got a lot going on the farm here in the fall, and I don't think we're going to have to do tillage on these soybean fields. At least I hope not. If we take a look at the map, actually, I do need to do tillage on 3 and 4 here, so we might have to jump into that. I don't know how sunflowers work. We may have to jump over there and do some tillage on the sunflower fields after we harvest them. I know that's what we have to do for corn, and so I don't know if sunflowers work like corn in that regard or not. But that's a problem for after harvest. At least we won't have to do that little field. I'm only going to try and do tillage on fields that actually need them, speed things up a little bit, and hopefully give us a good precision farming score. If I remember right, doing unnecessary tillage is something that we actually get penalized for with precision farming. I'll be honest, I haven't spent as much time learning all the ins and outs of that in FS22 as I probably should have. So we're going to have to buckle down and really dive into that here soon. It's been out for quite some time now, and I need to really get a handle on how all that's working. We should have enough to top off this semi here. We didn't quite empty the combine, actually, which is not a problem. I'm going to go and catch up with the combine right away here, I think, and empty her up, just to make sure that I can keep that moving for a little bit longer here, hopefully, than we did last time. And the more baling that I do, the more I feel like I really need to go find myself a good auto load trailer, because man, that's a lot of bales. And we're moving them off of the field, what, 9 at a time? Maybe 12 at a time? I lost count. If I hop in here real quick and look at the trailer, it doesn't actually tell me how many bales it holds. I can just count them when we get back to the other end. I guess I haven't been paying that close of attention. And we had quite a bit in the hopper here, so I'm glad we decided to catch up. We'll get it emptied, and then I'll have to run that semi up here real quick, because we'll fill up this grain cart pretty quick, it seems. We're definitely getting some good yields off of this field. I should pop that map up here when we get a second. I'll get to the end row here and get turned around so that we're not blocking the combine. Looks like the combine's all emptied out. So we'll just make sure we're out of the way. Oh my goodness, that's quite the ledge there. I'm surprised Course Play is handling this as well as it is. We've got this tractor turned off. Don't need to incur any additional lease costs. And I swear I bought soil information for these fields already. So I'm very concerned that we don't seem to have it anymore. Well, we don't exactly have the money for that right now, so I'm going to hold off on it until we get into spring at this point, I guess, and figure out what we need to do for nitrogen and all that good stuff. But I'm just going to run over here. I'm kind of checking in to see if I can put eyes on the baler. Looks like the baler got stopped by a bale on the headland pass here, so we need to come get this out of the way. And with that out of the way, I'm just going to come back down here. We're going to start running some of this stuff up to the farm. We're going to start with the semi-trailer here and get those beans going into the bins. And then if I remember to count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bales on that trailer. So we're going to be moving these off 9 at a time. That's going to take a minute because there's a lot of bales out there. And for some reason, I thought this thing was going to hold just over 1,000 bushels, but we're at 993, so we're actually just a smidge below, which is good to note. We just got to get to 993.2 bushels. Not too shabby. We've done a little bit better job here of swinging wide as we come into the bin system, so not hitting that curb or anything this time around. Which is good, And this trailer dumps nice and fast. No complaints at all about getting everything unloaded here very speedily. And we'll just get running right back out to the field here. I feel like I need to immediately jump in that grain cart and make sure we're keeping the combine moving. And I've made it up here right on time to catch him before. I think he's going to cut back in on a land here one last time. We'll see. I'm not actually entirely sure what his plan is, but I'm getting all this grain out of him, out of the hoppers here, so we can hopefully make it all the way through. I don't think we'll have any problems. Managed to stop right before the cliff here, so we're in a good spot. Let's get out of the way. And I'm not quite full yet, so I'm trying to figure out where he's going. I'm not sure where the best place is going to be to unload him, so I think what I might do is just drive back down here to the other end. I think by the time he's done cutting through, he'll need to be unloaded on the way back down, so that's probably the best bet here. And that baler is actually doing a good job here. We're catching up with the combine. Well, I don't know, maybe it should be catching up. It's going, I think, 10 or 12 miles an hour here, but it does have to stop and unload the bales every so often, but it does seem to be catching up, which is good. We've got enough of a head start that I'm not worried about it actually catching us, but it's nice to see progress. It means we won't be jumping back and forth between fields a lot. I always hope to wrap up a lot of these jobs in the field around the same time. That makes it a lot easier on us. And while he's doing his thing and cutting through here, we should figure out what we're going to do with these bales. So a lot of people have said in the comments that I'm not going to be able to put these straw bales in the same bale storage as the hay. And I'm inclined to believe you. I swear I saw a picture on the in-game mod hub of multiple types of bales in the same structure. So I'm going to have to go look. I forgot to look before the episode here. But I'll have to look. Maybe during editing, I'll pop up a picture of that if it's true. If not, well, we're just going to completely deny that I ever had this conversation, and we'll see. But we are going to go down here and try it either way, and just see what happens. If it doesn't work, we'll have to figure out what we are going to do with these bales right now, rather than holding on to them, because I really don't want to put another barn up here. And I'm not sure I really need bedding for my cows. If I remember correctly, that's only to provide manure, the dry kind of manure, and we don't need dry manure. So let's see what happens if I do this. Soybean straw is not accepted here. Let me strap those back down for a second so nothing happens. And I've got this. Visit disable input. I don't know what disable input means. Oh, it means don't let anybody dump here, I guess. Enable input? Yeah, I can only put a single type of bale in here at a time. Interesting. All right, so after a moment of looking a few things up, I did look at the documentation that DJ Modding sent over with the map. And he says right in that documentation that soybean straw and corn stalk bales are only meant to be sold for extra money. So, well, I guess let's go look at the map here and see what, I'm curious what the price fluctuation is on these. It looks like they're at a particularly low level in October, and they're going to come up to a much higher level in November here, a significantly higher level. And so I think the best thing to do, if I'm being honest, is going to be to just leave these bales out in the field and come pick them up next month and sell them for a lot more money over the later fall, early winter months. Because right now at 46, no, that's not even 46. It's like 17. Oh, I guess there's some of these are at 80 here. Well, 80 would be more like up in this range. I don't know if I can trust this price fluctuations chart at all right now, to be honest, but it's supposed to fluctuate between 46 and 97. I guess what we'll do is, since it is quite high, I'm going to go ahead and figure out where Rudy's feed store is, and we'll take this trailer full up there, all the way down in town, and we'll sell these off and see how it goes. And then after that, we may leave the rest of them out in the field until next month and see if the price comes up here. I'm looking at the map, trying to figure out how to get down here. I'm going to come down to the main road and follow the main road all the way into town. And I'm paying a little bit of attention there because I think we are going to make the attempt on filling out the auto drive network there to get us down into town. But before I take that trip to town, what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy out to the entrance of the farm here. But I'm going to go empty that combine one more time to make sure it's able to finish the field. I think with one more unload, it's going to have the capacity necessary. Man, I feel like I do a lot of driving back and forth down the length of this field. I was sure I was going to get back up here in time to unload him on the way down. But unfortunately, it looks like the combine has beat me to the other end again. I have to say, I really like how these two-tracked tractors handle. It seems to drive really nice here. I don't have nearly the problems steering and driving with it that I seem to remember from FS19. Everything seems to work out really well here. I'm digging this 9630 a lot. It's been a nice tractor for us so far. And we're just going to get right on up here. Start unloading. Drop her down into an appropriate gear. And that baler's going to town over there still. Good deal, good deal. I don't think this is quite going to be enough to top off the semi. We'll see. By the time we get it unloaded, it might be. There's a little bit left in that hopper still. Oh, there we go. 700 bushels, not quite. So rather than try and guess where I'm going to end up, we're just going to leave it right here in the middle of the field. All right, let's go for a bit of a joyride here. Get our thing opened up. Check out the course that we've got already. That's right, we decided to do a single track here. I'm sort of regretting that at this point, but unfortunately, I'm not going to try and fix this part of the auto drive course right now. All right, here we go. Off to town, already taking out signs. I don't think I've been down into town since we started playing on the map. I did a map tour and kind of flew around on a live stream, but I haven't been down here, I think, in the Let's Play itself with a vehicle for any reason. So I guess this is really, truly our first foray down into town on the Let's Play series. So let's enjoy the view a little bit here and see what there is to see. Actually, I don't know if I've been down to town much since the release version of the map came out. I know there have been a few changes since I've been down here. I don't know if it'll be anything that I could pick out, but I remember seeing a handful of things in the release notes. We're creating the smoothest, straightest auto drive course in the history of man here. We'll probably have to clean it up at some point. I don't envision, though, having so many vehicles going down at the same time that I'm too worried about crashing into oncoming traffic. We do have traffic left on the map just because, well, I kind of like it, to be honest. And let's see, I'm pretty sure where I'm going is... Oh, wrong light. And we've got a red light here. I'm going to blow the red light. There's no traffic coming, and we've got places to be. I can see the shining green beacon up ahead here of where we're heading. I'm getting a little close to some of these railroad markers, though. Well, that's kind of cool. We've got a tractor with a load of hay on it here at the sell point, looking kind of neat. And if I remember right, actually, the bales dump on the other side. So let me back up here a bit. Oops, this doesn't have gears. And I'm just going to swing around the yard here, something like so. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I don't think I'll ever actually automate this, so I don't even know what the name of the place is that I'm at. Let's take a quick look. This is Rudy's Feed Store. Rudy's Feed Store. Let's see what happens if I unstrap and... Oh, there it is. It's selling almost all of them right out of the gate. Very nice. Oh, that's some decent money, actually. So, yeah, I can't wait to sell off the rest of these bales, actually. Maybe we will sell some more of them before the month is up. Either way, let's just get back up to the farm. We've got some combining to wrap up. We're almost done there. In fact, I'm going to be surprised if the combine doesn't finish up what it's doing before we get back. I don't think it's going to need to be unloaded again, so we'll keep going here and catch back up with you on the farm. And it looks like the combine actually got stuck waiting for a bale. It used to just push these out of the way, so the fact that it's smart enough to figure this out is actually quite encouraging. That's way better than them just ramming into them at full speed. So I'm quite proud of our worker for having the presence of mind to stop combining when it runs into something, or before it runs into something even. Good job, bud. I'm going to get swung around here and unload on the way down, though. I was expecting him to already be done. That's all right, though. It looks like everything's going to work out for the best here. I am just wondering if the combine here is a leased machine or not, because it's probably got a lot more hours on it from all of the miscellaneous waiting around with the course play worker in it than it would otherwise. It's probably part of what's costing us such a pretty penny. And we're going to run into a couple of more bales here, it looks like. So let me just hop out here and see if we can deal with this situation. I'm going to go ahead and grab the next two while I'm on foot. And we better gear up here and catch up to this combine. I want to get to it and be unloading before the end. Maximize our efficiency as always. I say as if we haven't let our combine sit around half the day while we're off doing other things. Oh, I don't know. It might still catch this bale. We'll find out. I'm hoping it'll just nudge it. Oh, it is. Oh, look at that. See, course play knows when it can get away with it. All right. Well, that's the end of the field. We've got just shy of a full semi-load. It's just a handful of bushels. It's not even worth complaining about. So I'm going to run this back up to the other end of the field and get unloaded. All right, we've got that semi all topped off, and our grain cart's all emptied out as well. So I think what we're going to do is actually just move the grain cart down the field here a bit. This sunflower field over here, I think, is going to be our target for tomorrow. I do see some rain in the forecast, though, so we might want to get out here and get a start on it before this week of October 2nd here ends. I'm not quite sure if that forecast is just in the next few hours, if that's supposed to be the next day. I haven't paid that much attention, actually, to how the weather forecasting works. It hasn't typically affected me that much, although now that we're playing with 4 weeks in a month, I've noticed that we get a lot more weather variety. And so that's something we have to think about / worry about a little bit more, I suppose, is the upcoming weather. I guess there is a whole screen in here that'll show me. So as we get up to 1,700 hours, 1,800 hours, we're expecting some rain. And then if I look at the 3rd and 4th weeks of October here, we're expecting rain in the forecast. So that actually worries me more because I need to get these sunflowers off of the field. Time is ticking. We're at 10x and we're already at 3 in the afternoon. If I remember right, it's going to start getting dark here in another hour. So let's keep this truck moving. And I'm going to try and get these soybeans dumped off here as quickly as possible. And I think we'll probably try and run the equipment back up to the yard here. We've got to get the header switched off. We've got to get the combine all set up for the sunflowers. Not that I actually know how that works in real life. I've never actually seen sunflowers getting harvested, so that would be really fun to do at some point, is actually go out and witness a sunflower harvest in real life. But I digress. We've got a lot of work to do and a lot to be getting ready for here. However, I think we are going to wrap up today's episode here. We have finished up our soybean harvest. We've figured out what we need to do with the bales and when we need to do it. And we've got all of the beans in the bins here. Everything's all squared away. So we're all ready to kick off sunflower harvest next episode. I'm looking forward to getting switched over. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, drop a like, helps me out immensely. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button for more daily farm sim content. That's all for today. Kedrick out. We'll see, we'll see. Nope, it rolled right off. Stop, stop. Okay, well, we'll just, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that one at least. Like it never happened. Alright, you guys know I suck at loading bales with the front loader. I'm doing it off camera this way. Deal with it.